Okay, something's going on with the gearbox. It's not gearing. It's not gearing up or down. What's going on, guys? My name is Martinio and welcome back to Formula 1 2019 Season 1 Round 5 of my Career Mode series. And last time out we were in Baku, one of my favourite circuits. However, things didn't go exactly according to plan because, well, Pierre Gasly happened, basically. And we got our first DNF of the season. But we've got a chance of redemption here because we're onto the first European round of the calendar at the Barcelona circuit, or the Catalonia circuit, the Barcelona circuit in Spain. And as promised in the last episode, we do have some updates to the car. So finally, we've got some upgrades. The front wing cascades and the rear wing main plane have both been upgraded. So that should hopefully give us a nice little performance boost. Keep us very much in the hunt for those sort of best of the rest finishes and qualifying results as well. So yeah, plenty to look forward to. In terms of weather, though, it's going to stay pretty much sunny throughout. However, if you look down there, bottom right, back end of the race, there could be a little rain. So does that maybe play a part? Who knows? There's plenty to do this weekend, and we've got a long way to go before we get to the race. So let's get into it now, as we always do, by seeing how we got on in practice. So, on to practice, and all fairly straightforward. There was no real issue or bother with it. We made our way through the practice programs with relative ease. Got ourselves a nice haul of resource points. Mainly, it was just about getting acclimatised to the track again. Though I've done lots of different, lots of running and lots of different games, especially the F1 games around Catalonia. It's not one of my favourite circuits, so trying to find the groove, trying to find where the where I can push it, where I have to be a little bit careful again. Took a little bit of time, but it was, like I said, fairly straightforward. Again, with the upgrades on the car as well, I was kind of looking at that to see if there'd been any improvements, and we seem to be maybe a little bit higher, upper, in the upper echelons of the timing screens come the end of FP 1, 2, and 3. Although it is hard to glean, because of the nature of practice. Not everybody's running the same programs at the same fuel levels, but definitely seems to be a bit of an improvement there as well from the new parts. And like I said, we've got a nice haul of resource points, so we can put those to good use. Probably not for the next round in Monaco, because it's more track positions more than is the most important thing there, rather than big performance. But Canada, definitely a place that a lot of teams bring upgrades. Probably not going to do anything engine side because it's still one of the better power units on the grid, but aero chassis side, there's still improvements you can make there to find a bit more performance. So that's something we're definitely going to be thinking about at the end of the race weekend. But yeah, like I said, overall practice was a-okay. We've got a nice haul of resource points, and we're looking good. So let's move on though, and let's now see how we got on in qualifying. So, on to qualifying and Q1, and given we had our best qualifying performance of the season last time out in Baku, along with the upgrades we had to the car, I felt that Q1 would be sort of a straightforward, sort of a fair moot point. I think we're definitely beyond the point where we're going out in Q1 there, and that becomes a bit of a risk. And it proved to be the case. We finished in 10th position with a 121.839, about a tenth of a second faster than our teammate Kimi Raikkonen, who will also join us in Q2. We do lose Norris, Perez, both of the Williams cars, and Alexander Albon as well. But like I said, we move on to Q2 now, and definitely felt there's a little bit more pace to find, a little bit more speed. I've left it till the very last moments of qualifying to let the track rubber in as much as possible, so we can go and get that best lap in that we possibly can. And like I said, I felt that there was still a little bit more time, not just from the track rubbering in, but in just the way that I was driving the lap as well. I felt there was a bit more time that we could go and find there, and we managed to go and find it. We found about 0.2 of a second, a 121.640, which was very much good enough to put us firmly into Q3. However, we do lose our teammate Kimi Raikkonen, along with Romain Grosjean, Danny Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Lance Stroll as well. But yeah, not the end of the world for Kimi. He's in 11th place. He's going to get optimal choice with regards to the tyres and strategy, so he can still find himself very much in there, depending on how the tyre wear is. He could find himself going in and challenging for some points come the race tomorrow. But for ourselves, we move on to Q3. And again, like I said, I felt that I'd left it till the last minute. As you can see in the top right corner, the timer is ticking down. But I still felt like there was a bit more that I could just find, not just from the track rubbing in, but just from the way I was driving the lap. How much, I don't know. but I still felt there was a little bit more. I did make a couple of little rookie errors and boo-boos through my first few qualifying runs. As we come across the line, we're going to get a 1:21.317, so we found about 3/10, and that was good enough to put us into 7th place, that best of the rest 7th place position. So it's our best qualifying performance of the season so far. So the parts are definitely working as intended, and we're only about 0.3 of a second off Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari as well. So yeah, we've definitely got a fair, a decent amount of pace. We're about what? About 3/10, just over 0.3 of a second faster than Nico Hulkenberg in the Renault. So again, that bodes well for us. But yeah, it's going to be a tricky race regardless. We know about the gearbox problems that could potentially play a part. We've got a fairly good pace, and we've also got the possibility of rain throwing a spanner in everybody's works towards the back end of the race as well. So that's something we're going to have to sort of think about and look out for. But overall, I'm fairly confident. I don't think we're going to be able to challenge for the top 6 unless one of them has a problem, unless one of them makes a really bad call with regards to the potential for rain towards the back end of the race, if it comes, that is. But yeah, if we can go into this race and finish 7th, I'll be very happy. But we've also got to be careful of that gearbox as well, because we've got to go 6 rounds on the same gearbox. This is only round 5, so if we have a problem here, we could potentially face a 5-place grid penalty going into Monaco, which would be absolutely disastrous. But yeah, there's plenty of possibilities going into this race. But yeah, there's only one way we're going to find out what plays out. So let's head down there now. Let's go and see what we've got to do, what options we have for strategy, and let's get the Spanish Grand Prix underway.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91. Or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult.
Okay then guys, so here we are on the grid in Spain, and as we know, we're starting from P7, our best starting position of the season, or an equal best starting position of the season. And we've got the clean side of the racetrack, but it's not going to be an easy one. Obviously, we know about the gearbox. We know it's not behaving as well as it should. It's had quite a lot of wear through it, and there's still another race to put through that gearbox as well. Otherwise, we're going to incur a penalty. And we know there's rain potentially coming at the back end of the race. But in terms of strategy options, there's not a whole lot of difference, not only in terms of time, but in how many stops. Regardless, it's going to be a 2-stop race, so that makes things a little bit easier. And, I mean, regardless of which one we go, it's not going to be a big issue to change it up. You know, if we go for the low time management one, we find the mediums are holding up a little better than we anticipated as the track sort of evolves throughout the race. Then we can switch it up and go for another set of mediums, or vice versa. If they're not holding up as well as we thought, we can switch it up, come in a lap earlier, go for a set of hards for the final stint. So it's not really a big issue regardless. So we're going to start on the high time management one, because regardless, we're in the top 10. We're going to be starting on the soft tyres, and either way, we're going to be coming in at lap number 6 for a brand new set of medium tyres. So yeah, we're going to go with this one for the time being. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Like I said, it's not one of my favourite racetracks. Never really had good results here, but we've got a good starting position. We've got a decent strategy, I think. And you never know, that rain at the end, it could shake things up. We could find ourselves well in the thick for the points, or it could just throw us completely out of contention. Who knows? There's only one way that we're going to find out, though. So I'm going to get the formation lap all done, get everything all toasty and nice and warm and ready to go. And I'll be back when we're ready to go racing. Okay then, guys, here we go. And we're off. And we just about hold on to 7th place. Hulkenberg was challenging hard. I need to settle down.
Okay, Jeff here. You're causing unnecessary wear to your transmission. Try to take it easy. We risk losing it.
Oh, terrible through there. Dirty air, just wouldn't turn. Hulkenberg again having a look at us. So that's lap 1 done. Now we just need to get our head down and see if we can build a gap to Hulkenberg ahead of our first pit stop.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Okay, so this is our in lap. We've been slowly pulling away from Hulkenberg behind. He's corking the bottle a little bit against one of the Haas cars, and I think it's our teammate Kimmett. We're doing okay at the minute. Not really able to get closer to the guys ahead, but we're not really racing them. It's those behind that we're looking to beat.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Pretty much on the button. It's going to be a new set of medium tyres. Just need a quick stop.
Exit now.
2.1 seconds, absolute lightning. Well done, boys.
Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
So it dumps us pretty much to the back of the pack, but we've got a new set of medium tyres. I think we're definitely going to be able to go a lot quicker, so just got to get the head down now. Get to work and see where we come out when the pit stops shake out. So it looks like we've got a big train of cars coming up. Next one up the road is George Russell. We're about a second off him. So we need to jump him as quick as we can and not get held up and give Hulkenberg and Sainz, who are behind us, a chance to maybe catch up. He's on the medium tyre, but he probably started on them. Oh yeah, so much more grip. And that's Russell dispatched. Now on to his teammate
Made it look easy.
and our former F2 teammate, Lucas Faber. Okay, so it's going on with the gearbox. It's not gearing up or down. I'm clicking the buttons, but it's not doing anything, or it's doing it in a very delayed fashion. Right, here we go. Click. There's about a 3 or 4 second delay.
Okay, this is Jeff. Update on the car. The gearbox is damaged. Gearbox is damaged. You'll likely find gear changes slower.
Slower? Try bloody non-existent for the most part. Oh god, I can't even... I'd say that's game over, guys. Yeah, it's just like here. There's 4th gear. So yeah, it's a 2 or 3 second delay. Can't believe this. We're doing so well. But yeah, we're going to call it a day here because we can't do anything there. We're just going to go backwards and ruin other parts as well. So that's game over for us, I'm afraid. So there we have it then, guys. Another DNF, back-to-back DNFs, and on both occasions, like in Baku, it was just something outside of our control that cost us a really good opportunity at getting a really good haul of points there. And you know, I did what I could to sort of nurse the gearbox a little bit. I knew throughout qualifying I was getting messages from the race engineer telling us that you know, the gearbox is taking a bit of wear in the transmission and so on and so forth. Like I said, I did my best to sort of nurse it, but I don't know, maybe the nature of the circuit played a part. Purely because, you know, you've got a bit of everything around Catalonia. It's why they come testing here, because places like this are going to show up any deficiencies in the car, and it appears our main deficiency at the moment is durability, because whether that problem could have rectified itself, I don't know, but I think by the time that it did rectify itself, we would have gone so far backwards that, again, it just would have been maybe a bit of a moot point. And like I said, I think it was pretty much on its last legs anyway, so better to retire the car. Looking at the rest of the finishing order, though, as we saw, Lewis Hamilton won ahead of Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel, with Pierre Gasly beating out his teammate Max Verstappen. Then we've got Kimi Raikkonen, our teammate, finishing in 6th place there on a one-stop strategy. How he did that, I'm not sure. Whether he started on the hard compound tyre and just pushed it as far as he could. As you can see in the background, it is raining. Whether he pushed it as far as he could and then just went straight on to a set of inters or wet tyres, maybe that's how he got up to 6th place. But either way, good haul of points for him. Bottas finishes in 7th place. Disastrous afternoon for him, followed by Carlos Sainz, Danny Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen. So yeah, I think the points were definitely there for the taking. And again, we've just something outside of our control is ultimately cost us a good haul of points, and you know, a bit of reputation as well, because it seems to go down despite the fact that it was sort of outside of my control. But either way, so yeah, let's take a look at the standings in terms of the point scoring. So as you can see, we remained in 10th place there with 8 points. Kimi makes a move up to 11th place, just behind us after his 8 points haul today. But we lose a bit more ground in that chase for 7th place. That best of the rest sort of finished there. We're a full 16 points off Sergio Perez, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. And at the top of the table, Lewis Hamilton has a 27-point lead ahead of Charles Leclerc and a further 10 points ahead of Sebastian Vettel. In the constructors standings, we move up to 6th place, owing to Kimi Raikkonen's good finish today, which means we're only 3 points back on Renault and 10 points back on Racing Point. So we're still very much in the hunt for that best of the rest position in terms of the constructors. And as you can see, Mercedes lead Ferrari by 10 points there, so that battle's probably going to go rage on throughout the course of the season. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode, guys. Like I said, really disappointing race. We had the pace to go and get a good result today, but again, just annoying considering what happened in Baku with Gasly. Just having something outside of my control pretty much scupper our hopes of getting a really good haul of points. It's disappointing, a little bit demoralising, but you know, we move on to Monaco. Last time we were there, and the last time I did sort of an F120, you know, an F1 series, I actually managed to go and win there in a Renault on the first attempt. So fingers crossed we can do that. But before we do end the episode, we're going to make some upgrades, and now all the upgrades are going to be to do with durability. I do not want this happening again. I don't want to do all the hard work through practice and qualifying only to get a quarter of the way through the race and have something crap out on there and pretty much end our hopes. So focus on durability. We're going to do you know, upgrades to the turbo and the gearbox and the internal combustion engine, energy storage, and so on and so forth. We're going to get all those done. So hopefully going forward, despite the fact we're probably going to have to take a grid penalty into Monaco for changing the gearbox out of sync and out of sequence, hopefully going forward the parts will be a little bit more durable, and we can sort of meet the criteria of just going through 6 races on, you know, any particular, you know, set of parts and so on and so forth. But there we go. But yeah, like I said, that's pretty much the end of the episode, guys. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, would like to see more, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification button as well, so you get updates for all of my new videos whenever they go live. And also let me know in the comments, guys, have you had any sort of situations like this, been in a good position and had some part fail on you and just completely ruin and throw out all of the hard work you've done? If so, let me know the story, drop a comment down below. It's always awesome to hear from you. But once again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Stay cool, and as always, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.